This was not how it was supposed to go. I was meant to upload a video around 3 weeks ago showing off how my new deck was smashing through meta decks in Master Duel with a hilarious gimmick similar to my dice chart deck I did a video on a while ago. I constructed the deck, added all the necessary cards, added the hand traps and the meta counters, changed the accessories around, yada yada yada, and I headed into rank. This is where it all came apart, because little did I know, Time Wizard is the bane of my life.
This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test.
Time Wizard. Most of you will know this card from Joey Wheeler screaming its name in an over-the-top American accent, something buried in my cranium from a young age due to watching Saturday morning cartoons religiously.
It's the Time Wizard!
The card was originally released worldwide in 2002 in the Metal Raiders set as an ultra rare. Some of the other ultra rare cards in that set were Solemn Judgment, Mirror Force and Change of Heart that's now a forbidden card, alongside some other very, very strong cards. So Time Wizard was an extremely strong company. But what does this card have to offer outside of its anime antics? It's a 2-star, light attribute spellcaster with 500 attack and 400 defense. Fairly underwhelming so far. It is, however, an effect monster. Unfortunately, our wizard isn't as busted as it was in the anime, but due to being an effect monster, it does still have a very, very enticing ability. Once per turn, you can toss a coin and call it. If you call it right, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. If you call it wrong, destroy as many monsters as you control as possible. And if you do, take damage equal to half the total attack those monsters had while face up on the field. Now, not only does this card have the capabilities of wiping all your opponent's monsters with just a normal summon, it's got a gamble mechanic. I am an absolute sucker for anything that involves a gambling mechanic. Dice roll, coin toss, roulette wheel, Konami, think about it, it'd be revolutionary. This card's ability completely relies on a coin toss. It's like Russian roulette in card form, an all or nothing card that relies solely on luck. A 50-50 chance to wipe out every monster your opponent possesses sounds like a good deal, especially if your only monster out is Time Wizard and you're only risking 250 life points, short-term embarrassment and some of your personal pride. Don't worry, I know I've sold you on it too. It's just too tempting to get a win with it this way. But that's where this issue, for me anyway, arose. Getting a win. So, the first deck I constructed relied heavily on Time Wizard, and honestly, it was probably the most naive deck building I've ever done, in Yu-Gi-Oh in general, let alone in Master Duel. In my head, I'd already seen how it would go. I'd be able to summon Time Wizard, play down second coin toss, which would let me re-roll my toss if luck failed me, and I'd clean sweep the board. With second coin toss, the odds of success are 75%. That's fairly high considering the potential damage Time Wizard can do. This was not the case though. The issue was getting out both of those cards anyway. Yugioh is so quick now that it's so difficult to search out a Time Wizard, let alone a spell card. I can't remember more than one occasion where I had Time Wizard out and second coin toss at the same time, and when I did, my confidence in the 75% came to haunt me. Another issue is when I actually pulled off my Time Wizard, cleared the board for direct damage, because the deck had no firepower. It was a rookie mistake. I went back to the drawing board and decided on a new deck with a new component. The Time Wizard of Tomorrow. This is where I thought I found my magnum opus. A card that not only could wipe every monster on the field, but deals damage, half of the attack of all monsters destroyed, straight to the opponent's life points. Time Wizard of Tomorrow was my new plan, and a fusion deck was how I was going to get there. Now we're talking. A fusion deck focusing on getting Time Wizard of Tomorrow out, and also using synchro monsters and XYZ cards to fuel the fires that would burn my opponents to oblivion. Yeah, well, despite having some very strong synchros and annoying XYZ cards like Time Redoer, this deck really didn't change the output much. I was getting more monsters down, I was getting Time Wizard out, I was getting off the effect, and I was destroying my own cards. Time and again, Lady Luck has failed me. I had to take a break from our spellcaster and think about the viability of this deck at all. It wasn't a case of making it meta anymore, and it wasn't a case of making it consistent. It was a case of making it work just once. Just one time where I win a duel and Time Wizard played a vital role. Not a duel where I synchroed up and left Time Wizard in my hand whilst I swept up. Not a duel where I put Time Wizard to the back of the deck in favour of another card that I thought would help me win. A duel where Time Wizard was the absolute sole reason I won. I knew that I had to do something disgusting in order to achieve this. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Time Brigade Beasts. I finally did it. I hit the point of using something currently meta in order to get this deck to work. Time Wizard is a card that might actually need support of pure tri-brigade power to bolster it to the next level. This deck has thrown 95% of the gambles out the window, and I've just decided to abandon boosting those Time Wizard odds with second coin toss. We're into the mentality where luck is just luck. That if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. No longer are we forcefully searching Time Wizard, no longer are we even running polymerization to create his fusion card. If Time Wizard is meant to be there, and needed in this situation, then he will appear. One way or another, our tiny spellcaster will save the day. The bulk of this deck is taken from a deck created by YouTuber YT Dan, and I highly encourage you to watch his rundown on the original deck. It's insane how many decks it has an advantage over, and I'll put a link in the description for the original video. But I took Dan's deck and completely mangled it until this creation came out. A deck that can compete with the Time Wizard handily slapped in there for the ultimate heart of the cards moment. Was this deck ever going to be meta in Master Duel? No. Not in ranked anyway. Was this card ever going to be consistent in Master Duel? No, I still don't think it can be, especially due to its reliance on other cards. Was this card going to give me a duel where it finally paid off? All the hours and research finally culminated in some sort of victory, where all the experimentation and deck building created the opportunity where the Time Wizard archetype could not only come up clutch, but be the absolute hero in that moment. Well, this is the first duel I had with the Time Brigade Beasts.
Explosion!
A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he is meant to. Gandalf said that.
This is a test. This is only a test. This is a test.
Hey guys, this was a really fun video to put together, and honestly probably better than if Time Wizard just fucking worked in the first place. I really appreciate the recent comments and support on the previous 2 videos I've done, especially the dice jar video. It's been really good to have some motivation to do some more stuff, so thanks for that. Please try out Time Wizard for yourself if you can be bothered. Like, I really want to see if I've missed some absolute tricks with this little spellcaster. He's just such an iconic card, but he's so hard to functionally use. But I'm sure someone out there can definitely do it better than I can. Let me know what other weird cards you want me to try out in the future. Let me know in the comment section, because genuinely I run out of ideas so fast. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time.